Hello, everyone. Welcome to VizConnect, connecting you with the art of data visualization and storytelling. My name is Sagar Kapoor, part of customer success team at Tableau, and I welcome you again for another special episode of VizConnect. Before going ahead introducing our speaker, just wanted to talk about Tableau conference. I think less than 2 weeks we have for the conference. I am excited about it just to go ahead and meet my data fam again. If you have not registered, whatever you are comfortable in person or virtual, just go ahead and do that. And also, all the VizConnect sessions are published to our YouTube channel. Go ahead, subscribe to it. We have a LinkedIn group. Go ahead, join it, and stay connected with the data community. I will go ahead and share the links with you during this session. With that, let me go ahead and introduce our speaker. Amir Meimand is a principal solution engineer at the strategic solution team, focusing on data science and machine learning, joining Tableau in 2019. He has 10 years of experience in building, deploying, and applying advanced analytics to solve enterprise business problems. Previously, he was a senior director of science at Zilliant, a SaaS company providing machine learning solutions for price optimization and sales maximization and in his current role, Amir focused in scaling advanced analytics solutions by democratizing data science and machine learning. He holds a PhD in statistics and operation research from Pennsylvania State University. So without further ado, I will hand it over to Amir to talk about bringing the power of AI to business user with Tableau, low code, no code, and machine learning capabilities. Amir, over to you.
Thank you very much, Sagar. Thank you for the great introduction, and thank you for having me in the for this session. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and then we can start from there. Can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, Amir, we can see your screen. Please go ahead.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So within this session, we are going to present and talk about the AI and ML capability of Tableau, especially the low code and no code capability, which bring the power of AI and machine learning to business user, meaning that business user without necessarily having any like knowledge of artificial intelligence or machine learning can easily incorporate these advanced techniques into their analytical workflow and make decision faster and better with more confidence. So I first go through a very brief introduction about like this process for like probably like 5 minutes, and then after that I will jump into the a specific business use case that we have to explain the business problem, and then we will go through the problem solving process to see how AI and ML capability of Tableau enable business user to solve this business problem. So saying that, if at the high level we look at the process of applying machine learning and data science techniques to solve any sort of business problem, there is a huge distance from data to business user, who are like the ultimate decision makers. Um, Building a machine learning models usually required many steps, including like data preparation, model building, and then more importantly, model development and deployment. And when immediacy and time is an important factors, this distance and these many steps can be problematic, because most of the time it takes a lot of time to convert data into an intelligence model that can enable business user to make decision. And most of the time when this model is ready, then the answer is not relevant to the business situation because of like the dynamic in the market. So Tableau Business Science is one-stop solution that enable business user, as I mentioned earlier, without any knowledge of like data science and machine learning, to convert their data into model and then incorporate it into their daily decision-making process and make a better decision. And the main goal here is just democratizing advanced analytics and machine learning by bringing the power of AI and ML to all user, and enable them to make a greater decision. So saying that, let me jump into the business problem that we have. So the business problem is related to banking industry. So imagine that I'm a stakeholder or executive level manager for a bank, which is like performing in different state of United States. And this dashboard is built and designed to to reflect the performance of my bank across the US in the term of like three main KPI: the total revenue, the total charge, and more importantly, the average margin that my bank is providing on the annual basis. So 70% margin at average level is something acceptable and looks good. However, if I look at like the left side of the visualization, we have the breakdown of like margin level or the KPI for each state separately. And by looking at this like simple visualization, it is pretty much obvious that there are like few branches that are not performing as well as other branches. Like for example, in the state of California, the average margin level is like 15%, which is like 2% below the national average. In the state of like Mississippi, the margin level is lower. It is like 14%, like 3% below like the national level. And on the other side, I have like some other states, like the state of Oregon or a state of Arkansas, that their performance is better than national average. So as executive level, I want to make sure that all of my branches are working at their capacity and capability, and all of them can provide the same level of margin. The first business question that I might have as executive level is to understand why some of my estates, like a state of Arkansas or a state of Oregon, are performing so well, because I want to understand why these branches performing very well and then learn from their behavior, and hopefully I can replicate this behavior on low performance state like a state of California, to improve the performance and margin level of this estate. So if I select like any of these estate from the map, like the state of Arkansas, I can see like the characteristics of customer in this estate, like the distribution of their income, or like for example, what is like the distribution of their credit score. So this give me some overview about like the customer characteristics, and also I can slice and dice the data with the other capability of Tableau to look at like the distribution of product or some other characteristics. However, this type of analysis most likely cannot answer my business question. The business question is why a state of Arkansas perform better than national level. uh, Tableau usually is very good in telling you what is going on your data. Like in this case, I can easily, by building this map and building this chart, I can easily understand that there are like a couple of branches like Arkansas and Oregon and Florida that are performing very well. But Tableau by itself cannot tell me why this is happening, why such a behavior exists in my data. And answering to this why question usually required some type of exhaustive running statistical test and machine learning test on over like all underlying data that I have, to find out the potential explanation for such a behavior. So fortunately, Tableau has a very powerful feature, which is called explain data. And explain data is like type of AI ML power feature, which automatically run all relevant statistical tests at the back end for the business user, and then return back the result of explanation. So basically, from the visualization, I can select like any data mark as I want, and then explain data, run a statistical test at the back end, and then it will tell me if the value of this specific data point is expected or unexpected. And if it is unexpected, then what are the potential explanation for such a unexpected behavior. So let's try using explain data for this situation to see if we can understand why a state of Arkansas is performing much better than national average. So if I select a state of Arkansas or any data point from the visualization, then here I see this bubble, which is like the explain data. So by clicking on explain data, Tableau automatically run this statistical test at the back end and then return back the result. And this capability exists on Tableau Online, Tableau Server, and Tableau Desktop. So let's try that. So Tableau start analyzing all the underlying data, and then it return back the result. So the first insight that explain data provide to me is that the average margin level for this specific data point, which is the state of Arkansas, is higher than expected. So this is based on my business intuition, but it is good to have like a statistical confirmation for that, because it seems that my business intuition is aligned with a statistical test. So explain data confirm that the performance of a state of Arkansas is statistically above the average. Now, if I click on this finding, then explain data give me some potential explanation that what are which factor potentially contribute to the high margin level of this specific estate. And it seems that the contributing dimension in this case is new product. So I recently introduced 3 new products to the market, and it seems that one of this new product impact the performance of a state of Arkansas. So by clicking on that, explain data automatically generate some visualization to explain to me why this new product, why this specific dimension potentially can contribute in the performance of this specific estate. And let's click on the first visualization to make it larger. So in this viz, I can see the list of like 3 new products that I recently released to the market: certificate deposit, money market account, and travel reward card. So this the gray bar chart show me the distribution of these 3 products in other states rather than a state of Arkansas. And it seems that so national wise, any other states rather than a state of Arkansas, the distribution of these 3 products is like equally equal, like 33% for certificate deposit, 33% for money market account, and 33% for a travel reward card. However, the, the blue bar represent the distribution on the state of Arkansas. And it seems that a state of Arkansas could sell more certificate deposit to its customer uh, compared to the other branches. So while other branches uh, sold like 33% sold like certificate deposit to 33% of their customer, a state of Arkansas could sold certificate deposit to 54% of its customer, which is like 20% above the national level. And this can be one potential explanation that why a state of Arkansas has like higher margin level. So if I look at like the second visualization, I can see the average margin level for each of these products. And obviously certificate deposit has higher margin. So the 2 other products like money market account and travel reward, the margin correspond to these 2 are something around like 15%. But the margin correspond to certificate deposit is like 25%. So certificate deposit is my high margin product. And then a state of Arkansas sell more of certificate deposit, sell more like high margin product. And that is one explanation why this state has such a um, high margin level, because it could sell like more high profit or high margin product. So this is a very good explanation, because only by like couple of click and looking at like a 2 or 3 visualization, I could totally understand why a state of Arkansas has such a good performance. And the simple explanation is because this state did a very good job in like marketing and selling one of my high performance, high margin product to its customer. So we can go through this process for other estate as well to see if like similar explanation is applied to them or not. So I let's select like the other state, like high performance margin state of Florida, and then I can rerun explain data. Again, very similar um, to the state of Arkansas. Explain data tell me that for the state of Florida, the margin level is higher than expectation. And I can look at like the explanation, and it seems that a state of Florida very similar to the state of Arkansas sell like more of like certificate deposit, which is my higher margin product. Now let's look at like the state of California to see if explain data can tell me what are the potential explanation for such a low margin level. So by running explain data against this state, then I get like a different explanation, but aligned to the same like business logic. So explain data tell me that in the state of California, the average margin level is lower than expected. Let's look at the explanation, and the explanation is similar. So it seems that a state of California did not sell a lot of certificate deposits. So as opposed to like 33%, which is like average national average level, a state of California only sold certificate deposit to 20% of its customer. And since certificate deposit is like such a high margin product, this estate could not gain like as much as margin as other estate. So the the business summary or business finding here is that the primary reason that some of the states, such as a state of Arkansas, a state of Oklahoma, a state of Florida, and the state of Oregon, has like higher margin level than national level, is the fact that they could sell more certificate deposit, which is my high margin product. And if other states, as like a state of California, want to improve their margin level, improve their performance, then they should do a better like marketing job, and then convince their customer to purchase like certificate deposit as opposed to other product, because certificate deposit is is the first priority product to sell, because it has a better like margin. So that was that was answer to my why question, that why this state has like much like a lower like margin level. Now the next question that I have to solve this business problem is how a state of California can run a successful marketing campaign which can convince their customer to purchase more of like certificate deposit. And so did any of these estate in the past run some marketing campaign and offer these new products to their customer, but for some reason the state of California could not sell enough of like certificate deposit. So in the next step, to provide some actionable items, some guideline to these estates, I need to build a machine learning model that learn from like the historical behavior, the historical marketing campaign, to understand which factors impact the behavior of my customer in making decision which product they want to use, and then provide it as a guideline to each like branch, and enable them to run their next marketing campaign successfully, and convince their customer to purchase more certificate deposit as opposed to any other product. So let me first show you the dashboard empowered by the predictive model, and then we can go through like the model building process to see how easy it is to build like such a model to enable like the branch. So this is my marketing strategy optimization dashboard, which is empowered by predictive model. And as a like, let's say like the branch manager of a state of California, the first step is selecting the segment of customer for which I want to run a marketing campaign. So the state is like obviously like the state of California. I'm going to focus on the customer who do not have any loan, no business loan, no auto loan, and let's adjust it to only customer that are with my branch for like less than 10 years. So I can apply like different filters, select like any subset of customer that I want to run marketing campaign. In the map, I can see like the location of this customer, and then I'm going to run my marketing campaign with like some default configuration. So For example, I'm going to contact this group of customer with like different type of like contact method. I'm going to contact some of them by email, some of them by text, some of them by just calling them and offering them this new product. Also, as an incentive, I may provide them some perk to convince them to use my new product. Like uh, for like 30% of customer, I'm not going to give them any incentive. I just introduce my new product. However, to the rest of them, I may give them some like bundle pricing or cashback or reward. So you most often see like this sort of like brochure from your bank that introduce new product, and then they tell you if you use a credit card or if you open a saving account, you can get like a certain amount of reward or cashback. So this is like the same incentive that my bank is going to offer to my customer to convince them to use this new product. And also I contact this customer at like different duration. Like for some of them, I'm going to contact them like uh, 60 days after the last contact that I had for them. For some of them, I contact less frequent, like less than 30 days from like last contact, and then for rest of them, something in between. So this is the feature of my default marketing campaign that I approach this customer and offer like certificate deposit. However, the business question is that if I approach this customer with this like marketing strategy, then what is the likelihood that they respond positively and accept like the offer and purchase certificate deposit? So this is the place that the power of prediction comes into the picture. So by clicking on run, Tableau will run a predictive model at the back end to analyze all the characteristics of my customer along with the characteristics of my marketing strategy, and then give me the likelihood. So it seems that for this group of customer with this marketing strategy, there is only 18% chance that they purchase certificate deposit. This is a very low likelihood. And given the fact that certificate deposit is the highest margin level product, this is a very bad performance for my marketing campaign, because by this method, on average, only 18% of customer responds positively to my offer, and this is not what I'm looking for. This having this number by itself is very helpful because it enables me to evaluate the performance of my marketing campaign prior to running it. So obviously here this marketing campaign is going to fail, but Einstein discovery and machine learning enable me to fast to fail quicker and faster and learn from it. So now, I know that this marketing campaign is not going to be very successful, but my next question is, what can I do? What sort of business action I can take to make this marketing campaign successful? So fortunately, Tableau Business Science not only give us like the prediction, but also provide us some guideline to improve the outcome of or business. So in this case, Einstein Discovery give me like some recommendation here how to improve this outcome. And so, for example, one of the recommendation is that contact the customer like less frequently, like contact the customer within like 30 to 60 days after the last call. So this is something that machine learning model learn from the historical behavior that can impact the behavior of my customer. The other recommendation is like changing the incentive. So if I look at like the distribution of incentive, it seems that majority of my customer receive like no incentive or bundle pricing or cashback. But Einstein Discovery tell me that if I give them a reward as an incentive, this is something that can positively impact the decision of my customer in uh, purchasing certificate deposit. So probably like, providing reward along with like certificate deposit work better for my customer. And the last recommendation is just contacting them differently. So if I look at the contact method, it seems that I'm going to contact majority of my customer by either email or text, but Einstein Discovery suggests that I call this customer and talk with them in person rather than sending them email or text. So these are like some intelligence guidance that machine learning provide to me. But the next question is, what is the impact of like this action if I'm going to follow this guideline, what sort of impact it has. And so again, Tableau enabled me to try different scenario by running some what if analysis to see and measure the impact of like this decision. So let's say in this specific situation, I cannot change the last time, I cannot change the duration that I contact with this customer. So I cannot follow like the first recommendation, but I can follow the last two. So I'm going ahead and change the incentive parameter to reward as Einstein Discovery suggests to me. And then here I can see the immediate like prediction. So if I contact this group of if I provide like a reward as an incentive to this group of customer, the likelihood of purchasing certificate deposit improve from like 18% to 28%. This is a very huge improvement, like 10% improvement in selling one of the most high margin product. Now the next recommendation is also contacting them by call. So I'm going to change this parameter to call, and then the real-time prediction correspond to this combination is 33%. So by following Einstein discovery recommendation, I can improve and increase the likelihood of selling certificate deposit from like 18% to 33%. So that has a huge impact on the performance of my branch in the state of California, because by running my marketing campaign with this guidance, there is like 33% chance that my customer purchased my highest margin product, which is certificate deposit, as opposed to like 18%, which was like the initial prediction and success rate of my marketing campaign. So this simple dashboard and example enable me as executive level to understand how my branches are performing today, why some of them are performed like so poor or lower than national average, and how I can what sort of business action I should take to improve the performance of these branches, the branch such as like a branch in the state of California, and what type of like marketing campaign I need to run to fix this problem. So that was the first part of presentation, mainly focused on the business problem and showing like how the final result looks like in Tableau. In the next step, in the next part, I'm going to show you like how this machine learning model can be built by using Einstein Discovery and Tableau Business Science with only click and no code. So I pause here to see if there is any question so far, and if there is no question, we can just go ahead and go to the like model building process.
Amir, we can go to the second part. I think there is no question for now.
Okay, great. So to build a machine learning model with Tableau Business Science, the requirement is having like a Salesforce org. If you want to try this capability or build machine learning model by yourself, you can sign up for free trial of like Tableau Business Science and Einstein Discovery. I can put this link in the chat box, so you can just create an account for yourself and on the developer part, and then you can use like this capability, I believe, for like 30 or 60 days as like a free trial. And also on the Tableau side, you can either use like Tableau Desktop or Tableau Online free trial, which is available for like 14 days. So saying that, the first step is log into the Salesforce org that we have. I can start from the scratch that show you how the interface looks like. So here I already logged into my Salesforce org. So at the very beginning, the interface looks like something like this. And then to build the machine learning model, we are going to use Analytic Studio. So you have access to Analytic Studio by going to the search and the bar and search for Analytic Studio. And then this is your machine learning lab or analytical lab, which enable you to build your machine learning model. So the first step to build machine learning model is having your data available, because we need to train this model based off like the historical data. In this specific use case or data set is basically the historical like a marketing campaign that we have. So in the left hand side there is like data manager, and by clicking on data manager I will see the list of all data set that available in my org. You can also create your own data set by importing like the CSV file. If the CSV file exists like in your laptop or outside of like Salesforce org, you can just bring this CSV file into bring this data set into your Salesforce org by just selecting the file, and then it will be uploaded automatically. So I already have this data set available here, product recommendation training data. And this is like by clicking on the data set, we see like the characteristics of data set, like number of row. Last time we update this model, and then we can go to the explore part and see the structure of data. So I have like the data set open here. So this data set is very comprehensive. So in this data set, I have like all the data related to my customer and previous marketing campaign. So each row represents the information of one of my customer. What are their loyalty level, like how many years they are working with my bank. What is their annual income? The annual income is something that can impact the decision of customer in using a different product. Their credit score, and what type of like product they are currently using. Like, do they have like any auto loan or credit card, business loan, checking account, debit card, or saving account? So these are like the current product they are using. And the next characteristics are related to the marketing campaign. So historically, I approach this customer and offer him or her like certificate deposit, and then I contact this customer by sending them text, the duration, like the period of time that I contact this customer, and the incentive that I provide to him or her. And then the last column is like the response of customer, if customer accept this offer or reject this offer. So this is the historical data of my marketing campaign. And what I want to do here is building a machine learning model that can predict this last column, predict the response of my customer based off all other characteristics, either the customer characteristics or marketing characteristics. So building machine learning model, as I mentioned earlier, usually takes a lot of time, even for professional data scientists. But in this case, Tableau Business Science make it like super easy. To build a model, I'm going to click on like this Einstein icon at the very bottom. Create a story is equal to like building a model. And to build a model, all I need to do is specifying my business objective to the machine, because machine need to know like what is my business goal. So in this case, I want to analyze like the response of customer, which is specified in the accept button. And my business objective is maximizing the number of customer that respond positively to me. So I want to maximize the positive response. So this is all you need to do to build a model. And then after this point, Einstein discovery take care of like data preparation, model building, and model deployment. Then by going to next step, I have like two options. The first option is only generate some insight from the data without building any prediction model. However, in this case, I want to get prediction as well. So I'm going to select the second one. And then here you have like two options, either going with like automated machine learning process or manually like adjust like the model building process. Given the fact that most of the business users has no like knowledge of like machine learning and data science, I'm going with automated part and then click on create a story. And then after this, Einstein discovery start like evaluating my data set and building model. So this model building process usually take like 3 to 5 minutes. So till Einstein discovery is working in the model building process, I want to give you some resources. So if you are interested to learn about like Einstein discovery, the underlying layer and the machine learning capability in more detail, there is a very comprehensive white paper available as a content in the Salesforce website. I can send the link to this white paper as well. So this white paper is written with by one of my colleagues, and it is very comprehensive. It explain like the multi-layer of Einstein discovery from like the business application layer, the data science layer, in which you can learn about like all the machine learning and statistical techniques that are using under the hood to build the model, and also from like the data layer and um, operationalize part. So if you are interested to learn more about like the detail of Einstein discovery, this white paper did a very good job in explaining all of the part, not only from the business perspective, but also from like the theoretical perspective, if you are interested. So that's one resource that can be very like helpful in learning about Einstein discovery. So this model building process takes like more time. So till here, Einstein discovery evaluate all data, conduct some statistical test, which is like basically equal to like feature engineering and understanding which factors is like highly correlated with the target variable, transforming data, detecting some pattern, and then evaluate improvement opportunity is basically equal to model building, and then identifying um, like a, what sort of action you can take to improve the business outcome. I see a question on the chat. So till the model building process is running, if there's any question, I would be happy to answer that. Um,
I think question
yes.
was just in terms of if the recording will be available or not, and I have just replied it. I don't see any other questions.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So I already built this model, so I can, because this model building process may take some time, so I can jump into the result of model very quickly. So when the model building process is completed, then Einstein Discovery build a report like this. So it not only build the model for you, but also provide some like explanation, so to give you some insight, and also help business user to understand why the model performance is this. So this report is very rich and is built and designed for business users. So to understand this report, you don't need to have any knowledge of like machine learning or AI. So in the left side, you can see like which variable or which factors highly correlated uh, with the decision of your customer. So it seems that the type of incentive that we provide to our customer is highly impact their decision about like purchasing or not purchasing the new product. Their loyalty level and annual income are like the next factor, and then so on. And also by selecting each of these variables, you can like see like much more analysis to see like which of these incentive like has like positive or negative impact on the decision of customer. So there are a lot of insight here, and as I mentioned, this is like this report generates automatically by getting the insight, convert them into like natural language processing in the form of report that business user can easily understand. So I don't have plan to go to the detail of this report, because it is very comprehensive, and going through all part of it can be like time consuming. The next step is about like prediction. So here in Salesforce org, you can do some sort of like what if analysis. So enter the different characteristics of your marketing campaign. For example, if incentive is bundle, the loyalty level is between 9 and 10, the annual income is like something like this, then you can see like the prediction of like the likelihood of positive response from customer in the term of like a probability. And then the last tab is basically showing you the performance of model. And this model is binary classification. So the default like statistical matrix correspond to that is AUC matrix. In this case, it is like 98%, which is pretty good. If we want to see like more statistical matrix, we can see that here, like the AUC matrix, the Gini matrix, the MCC, and also the confusion matrix. So all of them are generated automatically, depends on the type of model that you have, and there are like more insight here in the term of like having like gain and lift chart, and also you can see the result of like cross validation with like 4 folds here. So all of them are done automatically. and then you can just retune and tweak this model if needed. So this is like the threshold for like your binary classification. If I want, I can change this threshold and then see the impact of changing this threshold on the accuracy of model. And then I have like some other metrics here that if business user believe these metrics are more relevant, I can just adjust my threshold by considering these metrics. So there are like a lot of information here, but the main point here is providing like business user the overview about like the performance of their model, so the business user can decide if this accuracy and performance is good enough, and if it is, then I can go ahead and start using this model. So till this point, Tableau Business Science enable me to automatically build a machine learning model. So building a model is a very important step. However, it still cannot enable business user to make a decision because this model is built, but the business user need to be able to incorporate this model into their daily decision-making process. So the next step, which is equally as important as model building process, is deploying this model. And in the real world, deploying model usually takes a lot of time and engineering effort, especially in the area of ML opt to just you need to have like a like IT infrastructure to accommodate this model on the cloud or on the server, and then enable your business user to call this model in the real time. So Tableau Business Science make deployment models super easy. So if I'm just satisfied with the performance of this model, I can just click on deploy model, and then Einstein Discovery automatically deploy this model on the Salesforce cloud for me. So I don't need to have like any IT infrastructure whatsoever for it. And I don't need to do any like engineering effort. So here I can just um, select like the type of model, like in this case, I'm going to deploy it as a new model. And then we can just assign a name to it. And then next step, I'm not going to connect it to any Salesforce object. I'm not going to segment my data. So this step is probably the most important one. So as I mentioned earlier, Tableau Business Science not only give you prediction, but also give you some recommendation, like which factors you can change to improve the business outcome. However, um, some of the factors are not actionable. We cannot like change them. Like for example, the annual income of your customer is something that's highly correlated with their decision. However, it is not something that I can change. The annual income of my customer is what it is. So it is not actionable. Or the loyalty level of my customer is not something that I can change. They are like the characteristics of my customer. However, there are some factors that as a business user, I can change, especially the characteristics of my marketing campaign. For example, I can provide them a different incentive if it helps. So incentive is something actionable. I can contact my customer differently if it helps. So contact method is actionable. And also I can contact them in different duration of time if it helps. So here I need to tell machine which of these variables, which of these factors are actionable. And then Einstein Discovery provide like this recommendation based off the factors that are actionable. And then in the next step, we can just review the model detail. And if this looks good, I can go ahead and click on deploy. So I already deployed this model, so I'm not going to redeploy it again. So when you deploy a model, then if I go to like model manager, and then here I have the list of all deployed models. So this is like the product recommendation, the model that we deployed for this business problem. And there are like some other model that I already deployed. So all of these models that are deployed in my Salesforce org is available on Tableau site. So I can call any of these model in the real time to get the result of recommendation. Now let me get back to my Tableau online to show you um, how we can bring like this model into Tableau dashboard. There are basically three ways to integrate and incorporate the Einstein discovery model into Tableau. And within this session, we're going through like two of them. So the first method is by using like dashboard extension. So this result of prediction that you are seeing here is basically Einstein Discovery dashboard extension, and you can add it very easily by dragging like this extension into your dashboard. And then Einstein Discovery is basically one of the in-product dashboard that is available on advanced analytic part. We have like this Einstein Discovery dashboard. I can click on that and then add it to my dashboard. And then when you add this to your Tableau online dashboard, then it connects to your Salesforce org automatically. And in the Dropbox, I have the list of all of the models that are deployed on my Salesforce org. So I can just bring any of these model as I want. So in this case, I want to use like a product recommendation. Then I need to tell Tableau how to send data to the model. So I'm going to send them from the worksheet, and I have a worksheet here, like the data worksheet, which has like the information of all of my customer. And then we need to map the fields to the feature. So some of them, based off the similarity of name, Tableau automatically identify them. For annual income, I'm going to calculate the summation of monthly income. Duration is equal to like last time contact. Loyalty is equal to like the total number of year this customer is with me. And then the product is like certificate deposit. So I just map like the worksheet field to the model field. And then next step, so here we are sending like the information of all customer that I want to run a marketing campaign. Einstein Discovery will aggregate the results. So in this case, it makes sense that we get the average of likelihood for all of the customer, and then it by default it returns like the top three predictors, top three improvement. I can increase or decrease them if it is necessary, and also you can define a threshold for the improvement. If, for example, taking an action improve my business objective for like less than 5%, it's probably not very significant. So I don't want to basically take this action. And then by clicking on done, this dashboard extension will be added to my Tableau dashboard. And then it is very interactive. So as soon as I select like a different type of data, this dashboard will be updated and give me the result of prediction as well as recommendation. So this is very similar to the dashboard that we have here. So dashboard, Einstein Discovery dashboard extension is very powerful because it not only give you the result of prediction, but also give you like some explanation as well as like improvement. However, one of the caveat around it is that it is a static object. So you cannot build like dynamic visualization based off that. So to do that, we can take advantage of like the second way of integration that I use to do some analysis, such as this what if analysis. So, and this can be done by using Einstein Discovery prediction formula. So if I go back to my Salesforce org and select this model, um, then on the setting part, it gives me like the prediction formula. If I go to setting, then here you have the option create Tableau table calculation. So this is the prediction formula. So you can use this formula as a table calculation in Tableau to to get the result of prediction in the form of like field, and then build any type of visualization of that. So I can just copy this, and then in my Tableau dashboard, I built like this field, what I call it like what if. And then if I open this field, the this is like basically the prediction formula that I got from Einstein Discovery. So this formula get the get the input of model from visualization, and then return back the result at the row level in the form of like a table calculation. And since it is a calculation field in Tableau, excuse me, you can use it to build any sort of like ad hoc or custom visualization. So I can just drag it into visualization and create this like bar chart to see like the real-time prediction. And I can just change any of these parameter, and then it will rerun my model at the back end, and then the length of the bar is equal to like the prediction result. So these are like two ways of like integrating Einstein Discovery model with Tableau through like the dashboard extension and through the prediction formula. There is a third way of integration, which is through like Tableau Prep Builder, which was not part of like this presentation. But if you want to get like bulk prediction for like millions of row and use them offline, then Prep Builder is the better tool to do that, because it can return back like the bulk prediction. So that was the end of presentation for this session. If there is any question, I would be happy to answer that. And if there is no question, I can quickly go through like some of the behind the scenes configuration to show you how you can connect your Tableau Online to your Salesforce org in the case you want to use like Tableau Online and Einstein Discovery together.
Hey, Amir, first of all, thanks a lot for talking about business science. I think definitely it helps everyone just to understand how we can get an edge of it. So there are some questions for you.
Sure.
I think there are three or four questions. I will just read out for you, and you can just go ahead and answer it.
Yeah.
So Abhay is asking which sources it can connect to other than uploading CSV files. I think he's asking Tableau Einstein.
Yeah. So to basically bring the data into Einstein. So so if let me go back to Analytical Studio. So in the Analytical Studio, if you go to Data Manager, then there is an option to create the and go to data. There is an option to create data set. By clicking on create data set, then you can um, click on select the file and then select any CSV file as you have, and then bring it into your Salesforce org. Um, and then here, like you can see like the schema of your data. If this looks good for you, you can just click on upload file, and then it will automatically upload your CSV file into your Salesforce org.
Perfect. So right now it's just CSV. We can just go ahead and input our data, right? Is that
Uh,
correct?
it is not CSV file is one option. Salesforce also has like
Okay.
some data connector, so you can connect your data through like the different like data connection that is available here. Like for example, bring your data from S3, or you can just add any other connection. CSV is probably like the most popular one, but you can just bring your data from like some other places by using like data connector.
Perfect. Thank you, Amir. Other question is, what is the volume of data it can handle to crunch the numbers and provide production predictions?
Um,
Any any
yeah,
comment on that?
I don't have the exact number, but I think it can analyze up to like 1 billion row, and in the term of like number of column, I guess it is something around like 100 columns. So it can analyze like a fairly large amount of data.
Perfect. And the last question, if we can select the manual process, can we select the ML model for prediction?
Yes, you can select the ML model prediction in the manual process, and also after building model, you can just by going to edit a story, you can modify the list of feature, or you can change the algorithm. Like this Dropbox show like the different algorithm. In this case, I'm using like the GLM, which is like a general linear regression, but you can select like GBM, XGBoost, random forest, if you want to use a specific type of algorithm, or you can select like model tournament, which like build all of this model and then compare them automatically based off the accuracy and then select the best one.
Perfect. Thank you, Amir. I think there are no questions.
Okay, so since we have like I think 7 more minutes, let me go through like the configuration very quickly, just in case you want to try this capability. So as I mentioned, you can you can create like a Einstein Discovery, like a free trial for yourself through the developer site and also Tableau Online as well. And then there are like three main steps required to connect these two together. On the Salesforce part, if you go to like setup, and in the setup part, uh, search for course, CORS. Um, uh, sorry, CORS. This is for adding like authentication, and then here you need to add like the website that can connect it to your to your Salesforce org. So you need to add like a start.tableau.com as to the allowed list. These are the list of website or host name that are allowed to connect to your Salesforce org. So I already add this like start.tableau.com to my Salesforce org. Originally, you will not have them, so you need to click on new and then add the pattern here, like basically start.tableau.com, and then save it, and then you will see it here. So basically, by adding it, your Salesforce org has permission to connect to Tableau in terms of like sending and receiving the data. So that's all you need to do on the Tableau side, and then on the um, on the Tableau online side, uh, we need to provide like the credential of your Salesforce org to Tableau online as well, so it knows how and how to send the data to it. So to do that, you need to go to like my account setting, and then on the setting part there are like different like connection security. So in this case, we are interested in like Salesforce, so you need to click on add, and then it asks you to log into your Salesforce org. So I already did that. So and then by doing that, it will add your Salesforce credential to your setting automatically. If I test it, credential are valid, and then after this point, you can bring like any model from Salesforce into Tableau by using the dashboard extension. And for the second way of integration, which was like through the prediction formula, if I go to setting and then extension, we need to create a new connection for Einstein discovery. So if I click on create new connection, I have like multiple options. By selecting the Einstein discovery, it allow me to connect to it. So I already have this connection, so it doesn't allow me to add another one. But in the case of you don't have it, it asks you to provide your credential, and then it builds this connection for you. And then after that, you can bring your prediction formula as well. So the three step is basically if I want to summarize it, is go to like your Salesforce setup and go to course, and then add like start.tableau.com as a pattern to your allowed list. And then on the Tableau side, adding create a new connection for Einstein discovery on the extension part of setting, and also on the account setting, add like your Salesforce org to the security and security credential. And then after that, you can bring like any model either in the form of like a dashboard extension or prediction formula to your Tableau online. So that was end of the presentation. Any
Awesome.
question?
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Amir. So we have 3 minutes. If you have any questions for Amir, just please go ahead and just put in the comments tab or the Q&A. Happy to go ahead and just answer it. And just a request, Amir, if you can send me across all the links which you have mentioned, I will just put it into the, uh, you can say the session.
Yes.
Once I go ahead and upload it into the YouTube channel. I think this is something we can take it offline. No problem.
Yeah, sure. We'll do that.
Yeah, I think there are no questions, Amir. I think we can give 2 minutes back to everyone. So thanks a lot, Amir. It was an honor to have you in VizConnect and for sharing all your knowledge about business science, CRM analytics. Thanks a lot for that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much for